Welcome to the Cables, Lace, and Tails podcast. My name is Sue, and I am a maker from northwestern Wisconsin. Hello, how are you doing on this fine spring day? I am doing well. It is kind of chilly in my neck of the woods, so it has been actually really nice wearing a light wool sweater cardigan at school when I'm outside at recess. It's just perfect. It regulates my body very well. So we're in the home stretch of the school year. We have like 11 days left, 10 days left. I forget because I'm doing summer school, so it doesn't really matter. So this past week, I was very busy with my other job, the food truck, which I did all last weekend, and I was very tired. So I didn't get a lot done on any said project, but I did do a lot of things, even so. So we're going to just dive on in and talk about a lot of things. Now, last week I discussed doing the Ranunculus, and this yarn by Barocco, it's a discontinued yarn. It's a Barocco Chai, which is a linen silk blend, and it's really beautiful. It is really beautiful. It feels papery. It feels dry, and I was having the darndest time starting the Ranunculus with this yarn, and I didn't like the look. It was looking sloppy. It was looking misshapen. It was just so disheartening, and I was getting so fed up. So I switched gears. I undid that swatch. This is a different swatch I did. I didn't do a very big one. This is using my Knit Picks 4-square laminated birch needles, which is supposed to help with hand tiring. I'm not affiliated with Knit Picks. I just like their stuff. It also has a pointy tip. I just did a quick gauge swatch to see how it would look. And technically speaking, this is a worsted weight yarn. It says size 4 on the label. However, when you look at a strand, this is the old gauge swatch. I already took it apart. It's a light worsted, I would say. A light worsted. It does have a tendency to split very easily, so that's why a pointy tip is kind of necessary with this yarn. I see I have broken a piece of it. When I was pulling it apart, it got real knotted. In fact, I felt a knot right there. I don't know if it'll break if we pull on it. No, it's pretty strong. So anyway, I changed directions. I said to myself, I don't like it. I won't want to knit it. Let's move on. So I decided, and I have this book. It's another Ann Budd book, the Top Down Sweater. I started making the top down raglan. I was going to make a t-shirt out of Lion Brand's 24/7 cotton yarn. This is maybe 2 summers ago, way before I even started this channel. And that yarn is too heavy duty. I don't know if I have the DK weight or the worsted weight, to be perfectly honest. But when I was making it, even though it was making a beautiful fabric, it just felt like it just was so heavy. I'm like, am I going to wear this in the summer? This seems like it's too heavy to wear. So I undid it because I wasn't going to wear it. It just felt too much for what it was. A t-shirt should be light and airy, for the summer, not, a massively heavy chainmail type thing. That's what it felt like. It felt like I was wearing chainmail. So I decided, my gauge swatch gave me 5 stitches per inch, and I'm going to do the raglan sweater from this book, but I am going to be doing a cardigan with this yarn. I think that will be good. And then I'm debating, I'm still like in the design phase. I could start it real easily because the designing things I'm thinking about are like the button band or the hem, and you're doing top down, so you have some time to think about it, as well as the sleeves. And I think maybe like a 3/4 inch sleeve, because I kind of want this to be an airy summer cardigan. So that's where I'm kind of leading towards that. I have way more enough yarn to do a full cardigan and probably another one if all said and done. So that's one thing I have changed. The next thing I changed was the Ranunculus. I've been wanting to make this for years. I bought the pattern a while ago, and it just seemed so daunting. And you know, I'd watch videos, and my aunt is actually, oh, she's so much further along than I am. She's already making 2 in different stages, and she's thinking about a 3rd because she likes this pattern so much. And I can see why. I mean, it is a fun pattern once you get over some hurdles. Now, the other night I tried to teach myself the double loop twisted cast on? I'm pretty lame. I'm so lame. I have only done the long tail cast on and the knitted cast on, sometimes the backwards loop cast on, but I would say like 8 times out of 10 I'll do the long tail, and then I've only done the other ones very small. So yes, the double twist loop cast on method kicked my ass. Seriously, I gave up in a huff one night. I was just like, this is ridiculous. And then I Google searched, and I found out that yes, you can do it differently. So I did it differently. Now, I don't have my other needle with me. I put it over to the other side. I have an size 11 straight needle that I got from my grandma. And I cast on loosely. And then I got gauge with my Knit Picks Reflections. This is a bigger size, circumference wise and needle size. It's the same brand, but the Knit Picks Reflections is stainless steel. It has a taper tip, but it's not real pointy, but it works fine for this yarn. And I have it on shorties. When I bought these needles, like I said, I'm not affiliated, but when I bought these needles, it was a sale, and I thought, I'm going to need the shorties as well as the larger size, and I may have gotten the lace at the same time, like they had a bundle and then they were on sale. So instead of trying to do the smaller tubular cast on, which after failing 4 hours with the double twist loop cast on method, and I mean, I looked at Sundragon, I looked at some others that I can't remember, I looked at Roxanne Richardson, and I don't know if it's because of the yarn I'm using, which is a sport weight. This is the Upcycle Alpaca from Knit Picks. I got this on super sale when they were discontinuing it. I don't know if it's the yarn size that is so difficult for me to understand. I mean, I even tried the old Norwegian cast on, and I was just like, I couldn't do anything with this yarn. So I cast on 90 stitches with a straight needle, and then I did a 1x1 rib. I know in the pattern it's a twisted rib pattern, and I forgot. So I did the 1x1 rib. I figure, who cares? At this point, who cares? So what color is this? This is the color Seashell. It's very pretty. It is very loose. It is very loose. I made sure of that. It looks fine. I've gotten about 4 rounds into it, and so I'm happy. I did this last night, and I'm happy that I did it this way. Would I learn these other cast on methods? Yes, but I think I would actually need time, thicker yarn, some other stuff, because I felt like when I was failing, because it was an epic fail. It was an epic fail. When I was failing, at one point I was like, I've wasted all this time when I could be actually working on something and getting more progress done on something I'm already working on. So I set it off to the side and worked on something else. But I did get gauged with my US 10 needle and the sport weight yarn for the pattern. And I'm just gonna do it this way. And if I make another one, which I probably will, because I have some ideas, maybe I'll learn a new cast on method, or maybe I'll just do the same thing. I don't know. But for now, that's what I'm doing. And you know, it's my sweater. I can do what I want, right? Right. Okay, let's see here. All right, slow progress is still progress. That's what I wrote down, because I was kind of getting down on myself that I've worked the food truck shifts last weekend, and I came home, and I used to work in restaurants for a very long time, and I had forgotten how exhausting it is to be on nonstop. I mean, I work at a school and you have to be on a lot, but there are moments in time where you get to like just decompress. Even being outside, you can decompress for a moment or two. I mean, there's always stuff that happens, you know, someone pukes, someone gets hurt, whatever. But I forgot what it was like to cook in a kitchen per order. You know, that is different than cooking for yourself. And I forgot what it's like to, you know, take cash, doing the cash register part. So I'm learning. And, you know, I'm not doing it every weekend, but I will be doing it more as the summer goes on, and the money will be nice. So when I got home on Saturday, I was more awake, even though it was busier and hotter, than I was on Sunday when it was colder and so slow. And we had to be there because of a trolley tour. They have, you know, it's shaped like a trolley, but it's on wheels, and people drive to different wineries and whatnot. So when I got home, I just worked a little bit back and forth on my new cardigan that I'm making. I'm using my Knit Picks Upcycle Alpaca, but held double this time. This is the color Hazelnut, and it kind of just reminds me of like you put this on and you're just nice and cozy, and you can read a book or, you know, whatever. And I'm just doing the simple stockinette sweater, which was good. On Sunday, I actually was knitting this. After drinking a cup and a half of coffee, I was still falling asleep on the couch. So it was a long weekend. I am using, I believe, US 6. I had my glasses. Here they are. A US 6. Yes, I'm using the US 6. These are the laminated birch needles from Knit Picks, called Sunstruck. It's working just fine. And, you know, I just made a little bit of progress. I didn't want to think, and this type of sweater is perfect because at this moment in time, I don't have any decreases or increases. I am just knitting back and forth, and I know what to do. So I did that. And then I also worked on a few other things. Like in the morning, I'd be a little bit more awake, so I'd work on my stripe height, my palette cardigan, which is, let's talk about this. I am very close to being done with the increases for the sleeve. It is different than what I expected. It's wider up here. I think I did a rapid increase. I didn't think I was doing a rapid increase. That's why I'm kind of surprised. I thought I was doing a slower increase, but I am doing a rapid increase, which is, I think, going to be just fine because it's going to be kind of a balloony sleeve, which I may like. So I'm going to have it come to here. And then I got to keep, you know, focusing on where the cap is going to be. And yeah, this, I think I'm on, I either have one more decrease after this or two more. And I was working on this morning, and it's just, I love this yarn for a cardigan. In fact, earlier today, I was wearing my other my other palette cardigan. I made this out of briar twist. This is camel twist, and you can see that it is two different colors. I bought this at the same time 8-9 years ago. A skein of yarn at that time, and it was on clearance. It was $1.62 a skein. Those were the days. Anyway, this one I wanted to do the large sleeves. Like I said earlier, I wore this on the playground today under a zip-up sweatshirt. And I mean, I even needed a scarf. It was quite chilly, but it just creates this beautiful warmth, and it's nice yarn. It's 100% Peruvian Highland wool. Once you block it, it becomes softer and, you know, just drapey. It is a gorgeous yarn. I'm using my Knit Picks Reflections lace weight needles. They're size 3. The lace weight is different than the regular because they use different cords, so you cannot interchange the cords with the two. And I don't know, it doesn't bother me too much. They're nice. I enjoy this a lot. It is slow going, but I do have the back and 2 fronts done, so I need to get the 2 sleeves done so I can actually wear this in the future. So what else did I make some work on? Okay, I haven't worked on this for quite a while, and I decided to try it on because I didn't know where. The last time I tried it on, it was right under here, and I'm like, well, I've worked on it since then. Where does it lie? I didn't work on it that much. I made maybe an inch or 2 of progress, but now I tried it on again. I made some decisions, and I have decided, I gotta be careful here so I don't lose my stitches. I don't remember if I had like a rubber band for this, and I did. I'm going to use it. Okay, so once again, I'm using my Knit Picks Reflections lace weight needles. I think these are 2.5. I'll leave everything in the descriptions. I've also put information and pictures off to the side because I'm kind of just rapidly going through this. When I'm working and I have a lot of stuff going on, I just gotta do what I gotta do, just like everybody else. So, ta-da! Okay, I figured when I tried this on this past weekend that I wanted to do another 4 repeats, you know, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 more repeats, and then do a yellow at the bottom of that 4th repeat, so then I can do the ribbing. I think in the pattern, and which I don't have handy right now, but I think in the pattern it's I-cord, but I'm changing that. I'm going to do like a 1x1 rib. I don't know how long the ribbing will be, but it'll be you know, maybe the same distance between the two, so about an inch or so. But I'm going to do ribbing around here to kind of bring this in, because I increased from one size to the other right at the armhole. And if I do the ribbing, then it might just like cinch it in just a little bit. I don't know what size of needles I'm going to use for the ribbing at this point, but I figure it'll be fine. I'll figure it out and it'll all work out. I mean, it would look really nice with the I-cord, but when I tried it on, this side right here is kind of gapey right in this area. So you would be able to see right down. Is this going to be an at-home shirt? Like I sleep in this shirt? Or will this be like a wearing under the sweater shirt? That I do not know. Like when I'm sitting here, I think, oh, it's long enough. But when I tried it on, it just wasn't at the right length. Maybe I only do 2 repeats and then I'll try it on and see how it looks. I haven't blocked this yet. So, you know, there's that aspect as well. But it is a lovely pattern. My only issue is after I do about 3 rounds down here, my hands get super tired and will like get crampy because of the cotton linen blend yarn, plant fibers, which I'm going to backtrack just a second. When I'm making my my raglan with the Barocco Chai yarn, I am purposely making, I thought about making it in pieces, but I'm going to make it a top-down raglan because I can go back and forth in rows. And I don't want to go in the round with that yarn. That was one of the reasons why I did not want to use that for the ranunculus, because as I was doing the ribbing for the neckline, it was so stiff. And when I tried to do it looser, it was so stiff. I'm like, this will be a pain and I won't want to make it. So even though this yarn is gorgeous, it is a discontinued Patons Linen yarn. It's, I think, 65% cotton and 35% linen. When I was knitting it back and forth with it, no problems whatsoever. My hands never got tired. I was just fine. When I get into the round, it was, you know, hand tiring. You're doing the same motion over and over and over. So that's my only gripe. Otherwise, it's beautiful yarn. It's beautiful colors. The colors are Sweet Potato and Goldenrod, but it's been discontinued, so I don't even know if you could find it on Ravelry or other websites, which is a bummer. It's a real big bummer. I got this at Joann's before it closed down. And what else? Last but not least, something I have been really steadily working on because I want to get it done, and it is becoming very interesting in the sense that I have changed the pattern a little. Now, this is the Stripe Hype sweater by Kutovakika. I'm just going to put a picture up here instead of showing the thing that I have. And I am doing, I believe, the right sleeve right now. I have, you know, I mean, I have made some progress. I did not put a progress keeper in here because, you know, so small of circumference. Okay. Now, even though it's on this needle here, when I try this on, I'll show you how I tried it on. I'm like, I wonder. I know it'll be a little bit more loose because when I try it on, I don't have this here. I'm not doing the rate of decreases as she recommends because I don't like things tight around me. And I figure I will do, I have it written down. How can I show you? I drew a picture of a sleeve, and then I have stripes where I have the decreases marked. So I know it's main color or color change color where I did a decrease. And I just would like it to be a little larger. And I think the cuff for me, I want also a little larger than 70 stitches around, because she has quite a tapered cuff and it's, you know, of that style. But I kind of want a more looser cuff, and I don't know how long I want the cuff as well. So I'm really navigating this in trying to figure it out and taking care of, you know, testing it every once in a while and seeing how it goes. I do have a larger area here than maybe some, I have no idea, but I like also when I do this with my arm, when I don't want to feel any pulling, or if I do this, I don't want to feel like I'm being suffocated in my clothes. Oh, I did do a stitch marker. Oh, so here, I'll keep myself honest. Let's see here. I did, you know, when I look at this, I did a good 3 inches. Cool. So 3 inches of work in a week. That's not bad, especially when it's been a busy week and other things have popped up and done whatever. I really like this pattern. This pattern was awesome to make. My hands are not getting tired in the round. I'm using Wool of the Andes by Knit Picks Worsted Tweed in the colors Dove Heather and Barn Door Heather. This is so pretty. Such a pretty sweater. I decided to do a split hem with this sweater, so I have all that on hold down here, and because I wasn't really sure if I wanted the back to be longer or the same size, or how long I want it. So once I get the sleeves done, then I'm going to put it on and see how it looks, and then finish the hem, and then the neckline, and then cast on another. So I would like to thank everyone for stopping by and subscribing, and for liking and for commenting on my videos. I truly appreciate it. I enjoy doing this so much, even on the days that I feel like I don't have a lot to show or discuss or inform. It's just really nice to like touch base, and you know, maybe others who have done the ranunculus and figured out how to do the twisted loop, the double twisted loop cast on, or the tubular cast on, can give some pointers. You know, from what I saw online, it looks like teaching yourself with larger needles and larger yarn is key. not fingering weight or sport weight yarn and oversized needles, because it just is turning into a knotted mess. Anyway, on that cheery note, I hope you're all doing well. I'm looking forward to a 3-day weekend coming up. Hopefully everything goes well. It's supposed to get cold and rainy, which is typical for this time of year around my neck of the woods. So until next time, take care, have fun. Bye for now.